Welcome to my channel Liberty Old Coin a Journey, where history meets hidden fortune, where ordinary objects turn into extraordinary opportunities. Today, we unlock a story of rarity, royal legacy, and unexpected wealth that has stunned collectors across the world. Get ready, because what you are about to discover could change how you look at treasures in your own pocket. First up, we're talking about one legendary collectible. Not a handful, not a collection set, just one coin. One single piece of metal that has captured global attention and continues to rise in prestige and price with every passing year. This is the Australia 20-cent 1966 Elizabeth II coin, a true pioneer of Australia's decimal currency era. It was introduced in 1966, marking a huge transformation in the nation's monetary system as Australia shifted from pounds and shillings to dollars and cents. That moment wasn't just financial, it was historical. The coin features the young portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, symbolizing authority, dignity, and a new modern era of Australian identity. On the reverse side rests the stunning platypus design created by the celebrated sculptor Stuart Devlin, later known as the goldsmith to the Queen. His artistry alone already gives this coin prestige. But the value goes beyond design and royal history. This coin is treasured because it represents the very beginning of a new currency age. The first mintage, the very roots of modern Australian money. And any coin that marks a national monetary shift instantly becomes a desirable icon for collectors. Now here's what makes selected pieces from this year incredibly special. Some 1966 20-cent coins were struck in silver, not copper nickel. These rare silver strikes are the crown jewels of decimal coin collectors. They are stunning, highly sought after, and fiercely protected by enthusiasts who know their worth. Additionally, perfectly preserved uncirculated pieces and errors from this year are considered treasures by investors and serious numismatists. A simple mint error can send this coin's value soaring, and flawless condition examples can command breathtaking prices. When we talk about value, we are talking about opportunity. Rare versions of this 1966 20-cent coin have sold for eye-opening figures. A prized collector-grade silver strike has gone for over $5,000. Error variants and top-graded standard 1966 examples have reached hundreds to thousands depending on rarity, grade, and buyer demand. Yes, a single 20-cent coin with the right traits can move in the $1,000 to $5,000 range at auction when it carries the right features, condition, and proven scarcity. Imagine holding a coin today that collectors are already competing fiercely for, and prices are only climbing. That's why enthusiasts call this coin a sleeper treasure. Many people don't even realize what they hold until the spotlight hits their collection. That moment, excitement becomes opportunity. Collectors today aren't just hobbyists, they are investors. They understand that rare early decimal Australian coins are rising in international demand, especially as royal era collectibles gain heightened interest after historic transitions in the monarchy. Your coin could be among those rising gems. Should you seal it? Absolutely. Protect it, preserve it, keep it secure. A professionally graded, sealed 1966 20-cent coin can multiply its potential value. Presentation matters, certification matters, care matters, because elite buyers want elite pieces. Think about the future. This is not just metal, it is legacy. A silent witness to Australia's evolution. A royal era collectible tied to a major national milestone. Rarity and history combined with growing collector passion is a formula for unstoppable appreciation. If you own this coin, understand that you hold a piece of opportunity. You hold history, prestige, and potential wealth in the palm of your hand. And the higher the grade, the rarer the strike, the more special the minting variation, the more powerful the return could be. Keep it safe. Keep it sealed. Keep it treasured. Because this coin isn't just valuable today, it is building toward tomorrow. And one exceptional piece can become a prized jewel in the world of elite collectors. So whether you're a passionate numismatist, a treasure hunter, or someone who just discovered this coin in your family's collection, celebrate it. You are holding Australia's first-era decimal masterpiece. One single coin with the power to surprise, to excite, and potentially reward beyond expectations. Your story with this 1966 Australian 20-cent Elizabeth II coin starts now, and its future value is waiting to shine brighter than ever. Next coin, the Australia 20-cent coin, dated 1973, carries more than face value. First, some history. Australia moved to decimal currency on February 14, 1966, replacing pounds, shillings, and pence. The 20-cent denomination was part of that move, and from 1966 onward the coin featured the young bust of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse, designed by Arnold Mackin, and the iconic platypus on the reverse, designed by Stuart Devlin. By 1973, the decimal system was well established. That year's 20-cent coins were struck at the Royal Australian Mint for circulation and carried the standard copper-nickel composition, 75% copper, 25% nickel, and the standard weight of about 11.3 g. The 1973 coin is catalogued as Kraus number CAM number 66 for the series of 20-cent coins issued 1966 to 84. The general mintage figure for the 1973 20-cent is reported at some 23,356,000 coins. That means this is not a super low mintage coin by itself, especially compared to coins with a few thousand or a few hundred examples. But rarity is only one part of value. Condition, striking quality, and collector demand matter greatly. Now, why can this coin be valuable in the future? Several reasons. First, it's an early decimal Australian coin, part of a milestone decimalization in Australian monetary history. Historical context gives coins added appeal. Second, as time goes by, many of the circulated coins will wear, get lost, or damaged. Survivors in very fine or uncirculated condition become scarcer as each year passes. Third, if there are any special varieties, errors, or proofs of this date, these can command premiums. Collectors love variants. For example, there is a 1973 proof version of the 20-cent, mintage reported at only 10,000. That is more scarce. Given all that, the 1973 coin holds potential to appreciate beyond its face value. And in the right condition, it could be a smart collector/investor coin. What is the current value of a 1973 20-cent coin? For ordinary circulated examples, online listings show that coins are being offered for a few dollars. For example, one listing shows a 1973 20-cent coin for about US $5 in ungraded condition. An uncirculated choice UNC version is offered by a specialized dealer, described as Australia 1973 20C choice uncirculated. Mintage 23,350,000, and while no specific sale price is given, the implication is that higher grade numbers will cost significantly more than circulation quality. So today, if you have a 1973 20-cent in average circulated condition, expect perhaps tens of dollars, not hundreds in most cases. Now, what about the maximum value? That's where the excitement comes in. If you have an example in pristine mint condition, graded MS/UNC at a high level, or a rare variant/proof version, the value can escalate. While I could not locate a public verified sale of a 1973 20-cent in top grade at the tens of thousands level, the framework suggests that a premium coin could sell for hundreds to maybe a few $1,000s, given enough collector interest. Because the standard mintage is in the tens of millions, the ceiling is realistically lower than ultra-rare coins, but with rising demand, the future maximum might surprise. Let's imagine the scenario. You own a 1973 20-cent in perfect condition, certified as near mint and maybe with a known variety or cameo finish. You list it to collectors specializing in Australian decimal coins. You attract bidding and you stimulate demand. In that setting, you could aim for US $1,000 to US $3,000 or more, depending on venue, rarity, eye appeal, and certification. Remember that rare proof versions, 10,000 mintage, will inherently push toward higher end of that scale. That is your target horizon, projecting into the future. As fewer pristine coins survive, and as collector interest in early Australian decimals grows, the value of the 1973 coin could increase substantially. If you hold one in top condition now, you may benefit from appreciation over the coming years. The coin offers both historical appeal and long-term investment potential. If you want to maximize your upside, keep your coin in uncirculated condition, avoid handling it, get it graded and certified by a reputable grading service, store in a protective case, present strong provenance if you have it, and market to niche collectors of Australian decimal coinage. The better the grade and presentation, the higher the pricing window. Also, educate potential buyers about its context. This coin is part of the era when Australia shifted monetary systems, features Queen Elizabeth II, features the beloved platypus reverse, and comes from the early decades of the decimal series. These stories add emotional value, not just metal value. So in wrapping up, the 1973 Australia 20 cent is definitely valuable, not just as everyday change, but as a collectible with room to grow. The current market might place into the low tens of dollars for circulated examples, but the maximum value could reach into the thousands of dollars for top specimens and rare versions. The key is condition, grading, and marketing. If you hold one and take care of it, you're sitting on history in your hand with upside. If you found one in your collection or from family, now is the moment to treat it with care. This coin doesn't just say 20 cents, it says legacy, time capsule, and potential. Store it well, let it appreciate, and when the moment is right, you could turn it into a finely rewarding sale. Next, the Australia 20 cent coin dated 1976 featuring Elizabeth II is more than just pocket change. It carries history, visibility among collectors, and the potential to become highly desirable. Let's walk through its story, current situation, why many people might want it, and how high its value could go if you hold a strong specimen. The 1976 Australia 20 cent piece was minted as part of the decimal currency series, which began in Australia on February 14, 1966. On the obverse, the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II appears, and on the reverse there is the iconic swimming platypus design created by Stuart Devlin. Its composition is copper-nickel, weight 11.3 g, diameter about 28.65 millimeters. The 1976 mintage is recorded at around 59,774,000 coins. Because of that relatively high mintage, it's not a super rare coin in terms of sheer numbers. Many thousands were produced. But rarity is only part of the story. What makes the 1976 20 cent coin valuable is its condition, its appeal to collectors of Australian decimal coinage, and the fact that as time passes, many coins in circulation suffer wear and damage. A well-preserved version thus gains extra significance. There are also documented error coins for this date, such as a clamshell split planchet version of the 1976 20 cent that is flagged by specialist sellers. How many people want to buy it? While precise numbers of active buyers aren't publicly tallied, the online listings give a clear indication of demand among coin collectors and hobbyists. Listings for the 1976 20 cent can be found on major auction platforms, with some listing marked rare and fetching double or more than typical circulated prices. Because it is part of a popular series and a well-known date, it attracts attention from numismatists worldwide. Any coin from Australia with a well-documented history, a familiar design, and decent condition will find market. What is its current value? In circulated condition, many examples of the 1976 20 cent coin are listed for only a few dollars. For example, a listing shows this date as Australia 1976 20C choice uncirculated for about $6.50. On other listings, a rare version of the coin is marked at $150 or best offer, but that seems more speculative and confirmed high-end sales. So in general, the current realistic value for a standard circulated specimen is modest, likely in the range of $5 to $20 depending on condition, location, and buyer interest. Is its value really high or low? Relative to some ultra-rare coins, the value is low because so many were minted and many exist. But low, in that context, doesn't mean worthless or uninteresting. In fact, this coin is valuable in the sense that it has solid collectible appeal, and in the right condition, it could command significantly higher price. The key is in the right condition and with the right variant or error. A collector will pay for high-grade, certified pieces or for examples with unusual features. This is where the maximum prize enters. How high might the maximum value go? If you happen to own a 1976 20-cent coin that is uncirculated with full luster and perhaps certified by a major grading service, or is one of the rarer error versions, e.g., the split planchet error, it could command a premium over the common coins. While I did not find public verified sales in the tens of thousands for this date, specialist listings and auction histories suggest values of several $100s are achievable. For example, in an auction database, a PCGS graded MS66 example for 1976 Australia 20 cent is shown at $45. That might seem modest, but that's a documented baseline. With rarer attributes, the ceiling could increase. Given strong buyer interest in a top-grade example, one might reasonably aim toward $500 to $1,000 or more if marketed well, especially internationally. The rarer error coins could push even higher depending on collector competition. Why is the coin built? Or rather, why was it minted? The 1976 20-cent coin was minted to serve as part of Australia's decimal currency system, which was introduced to simplify the former pounds, shillings, and pence system and align Australia with a modern monetary structure. The design with the platypus, chosen by the Royal Australian Mint, symbolized a uniquely Australian animal, giving the coin a national identity. The obverse featuring Queen Elizabeth II reflected Australia's status as a constitutional monarchy and part of the Commonwealth. The coin's production in 1976 followed the established circulation design between 1966 and 1994, platypus reverse unchanged, and served everyday transactions while also being issued in uncirculated sets and occasionally attracting collector attention. Why should you care? If you happen to have one of these coins, especially in very good condition, you're holding something that more than a simple 20-cent piece. You're holding a piece of Australia's monetary history, an item that collectors set their eyes on, and something with upside potential. The fact that demand exists, combined with condition scarcity, even though many were minted, very few stay in pristine condition, means you could benefit from appreciation over time. If you want to maximize value, treat this coin lightly. Keep it away from circulation. Avoid scratches. Hold it in a protective capsule. Consider getting it graded if it appears near mint, and verify whether it has any recorded variety or error that elevates it. Market it internationally if you want the highest price. Overseas collectors often pay more for Australian coins. Letting this coin sit unsafely risks losing the chance. Condition degrades, scratches appear, or patina forms, which may reduce desirability. The tough part is that for many of these coins, what makes the big money is being in gem condition or proof/unreleased variant. Standard circulated condition means modest value. Exceptional condition means premium. In conclusion, the 1976 Australian 20-cent coin with Queen Elizabeth II is a valuable collectible. It is not the rarest coin in the world, but it has the components: a large mintage, strong historical design, recognizable reverse and obverse, worldwide collector appeal, and potential for appreciation if condition is top tier. Current market values for normal examples are modest, a few dollars to a few tens of dollars, but high-grade, error, or special condition examples can push into the hundreds or more. If you hold one and it's near mint or better, you're sitting on a piece that could reward you well. It's time to give that little coin the respect it deserves. Next, the coin we were talking about is the Australia 20-cent coin from the year 1977, bearing the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. It's part of Australia's decimal currency system, the standard 20-cent denomination struck for circulation. Its composition is copper-nickel, 75% copper, 25% nickel. It weighs about 11.31 grams. Diameter around 28.52 millimeters. The mintage for the 1977 date is given as approximately 41,272,000 coins. On the obverse, you have Queen Elizabeth II and on the reverse, the iconic swimming platypus design by Stuart Devlin, used on Australian 20-cent coins for 1966 through 1994. Let's begin with its history and why it was created. The Australian 20-cent piece was introduced as part of the decimalisation of Australian currency on February 14, 1966, replacing the florin, 2 shillings, and aligning Australia with a simpler, modern monetary system. By the time 1977 rolled around, the decimal system had been in place for over a decade, but each coin from those years still carries the legacy of that transformation. The Sydney Mint, Canberra production, struck the coin for general circulation, not just for collectors, meaning it was meant to be everyday money, but as years go by, fewer survive in superb condition. Now, demand. How many people want this coin? While we cannot give an exact head count, we know there's a steady base of coin collectors focusing on Australian decimal coins, Australian coinage with Queen Elizabeth II, and coins of the 1970s era. Online listings show this specific date, 1977, being offered on collector marketplaces. For example, an eBay listing shows a 1977 Australia 20-cent coin for $58 from a seller in Japan. With interest, people are checking this out. 6 have added this to their watch list. Another price guide lists examples: certified MS 66 gem uncirculated at around 73.50 Australian dollars, which would be around 50 to 60 US dollars depending on exchange for that grade. That shows there is interest among buyers who are looking for certified, high-grade examples. Where can you buy and where can you sell this coin? Buying. You can look at well-known online coin platforms, eBay, vCoins, specialized numismatic auction sites. Search for Australia 20-cent 1977 in seller listings. For example, vCoins lists a 1977 Australia 20-cent. Another approach. Visit local coin dealers in Australia or internationally who specialize in decimal coin series. Check coin fairs, estate sales, collection dispersals. Selling. Once you own it, you can sell via the same online platforms or through auction houses that deal in world coins/collectibles. For maximum result, a graded certificate from a reputable grading service will enhance trust and price. You might also sell privately to serious collectors or consign to an auction with marketing to reach international bidders. Is this coin worth that much? The answer is yes, it has value. But not all examples are equal. A circulated average condition 1977 20-cent may sell for relatively modest amounts, just more than face value, but a high-grade, uncirculated, certified specimen can command significantly more. According to the price guide, for the 1977 20-cent, certified grades show values from MS 63 at about 9.80 Australian dollars, MS 65 at about 13.10 Australian dollars, MS 66 at about 16.40 Australian dollars, and MS 67 at about 73.50 Australian dollars. That means if you find one in pristine condition, the price could rise much higher than a worn coin. And because condition is one of the few controls on value, holding one in excellent condition makes you part of a smaller pool of coins eligible for high values. How high can its maximum value go? If you have a 1977 20-cent coin in top condition, think certified, flawless, full original luster, minimal handling, or perhaps a rare variant or mint error, which may exist though not widely documented for this date, then you can aim for high price. While documented values for 1977 are modest compared to ultra-rare coins, the upside is meaningful. If the market for Australian decimal coins keeps expanding, you could reasonably consider maximum sale ranges in the low hundreds of dollars or even more, depending on condition and rarity. If an MS 67 is 73.50 Australian dollars today, one could speculate an MS 68 or superbly handled specimen might fetch several $100s in future when collector demand increases. The key is quality and scarcity of top specimens. So yes, the maximum value is significantly above typical listing amounts for circulated coins. Should you keep it? Absolutely. If you own a 1977 20-cent coin and it's in good condition, you're holding a valuable collector asset rather than just 20 cents. Keeping it gives you the option of future appreciation. The potential for value growth is better if you hold than if you sell now a low grade. So yes, hold it, preserve it, and monitor the market. If a buyer shows strong interest for a top condition specimen, you can sell at that time. Should it be sealed or graded for maximal value? Yes, if you're serious about maximizing the sale price, you should seal and grade it. Coin grading services give coins a grade, e.g. MS 65, MS 67, and put them in tamper-evident holders which reassure buyers of condition and authenticity. A sealed graded coin usually sells for a premium compared to ungraded. Even if you don't grade it immediately, you should store it carefully. In a protective capsule, away from moisture, avoid cleaning it, avoid fingerprints. The difference between pretty good and gem uncirculated can mean many times the price. So the strategy is keep it sealed or get it certified and present it as a premium piece. In practical terms, you inspect your collected coins, identify the 1977 20 cent, check its condition, where on surfaces, scratches, luster, rim damage. If it looks very good, consider sending it for grading. If it's circulated with visible wear, its immediate resale value may be low, but even then you're holding history and collector potential. How many people are looking? From watch lists and active listings, we see indication of demand among global collectors. Japanese seller listing, international buyers adding to watch list, grading services quoting values, price guides referencing the date. That tells us that while it is not a white-hot, rare coin with thousands of watchers at once, it has sustained meaningful demand among niche collectors of Australian decimal coins and Queen Elizabeth II era coinage. That niche demand is what drives the value for coins like this. Why this coin is priceless in story, not just face value. You are holding a coin minted in 1977 during the long reign of Queen Elizabeth II, which already carries heritage and historical appeal. The design itself, the platypus, links to uniquely Australian imagery. The coin is part of the early decades of Australia's decimal period, which is now more than 40 years ago. Older coins have seen many removed from circulation, damaged, lost. So survivors in good shape become rarer with age. Even though original mintage was high, the number of truly top-condition survivors is much smaller. In conclusion, the 1977 Australian 20-cent coin is valuable and could become more valuable. It is not a common run-of-the-mill disposable coin in collector terms because the right specimen commands a premium. You should consider buying one if you don't already own it, or if you own one, treat it as an asset, store it well, possibly have it graded, and consider selling when market conditions and grading make your specimen stand out. The maximum price is confidently above typical low sale figures and could reach in the hundreds.